So today's vlog is going to be a different one than the rest, so a bit of a heads up there. Today is my day. Today is the day that I give you my entry for Bloggers 2020's Promptapalooza. It is August 21st, 2020. I'm Jamie Hughes with What's Occurring, A Life of a Welshman. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my entry. Video games. We've come quite a long way since the day of the Atari, with games being built into the console, and we've seen so many developments going forward towards it. We've seen interchangeable cartridges, CD-ROMs, Blu-rays, and including as well digital, going all the way up to where we are right now with the PlayStation 4, the Xbox, the Switch, and even PC as well. It's astonishing on how we have developed for so many years. But there are some times in which video game companies will always try and find new ways to take old franchises to better them, and to also as well better their wallets. And they can go about it in many different ways, but the ones being, they can either try to reboot a franchise to make it look better and more grittier for the 21st century, like they did with Devil May Cry's DMC, or they can try and expand the story off on and try and see if they can add a few more games out to tell a better story, like they did with Final Fantasy XIII. Can you see with those two games in particular that you can see how they went? But with Bloggers 2020 Promptapalooza for August 21st today, I've been given the prompt that basically states, what piece of content would you look most like to have as a sequel or a reboot? Well, I got one or two ideas there. And trust me, it's not Final Fantasy XIII and it's not DMC. Just no. So I definitely had some time to think, and one or two games I will definitely say stick out to me. Not in the sense of a reboot, because to be honest, well, one of them may be considered as a reboot as well, but honestly, I see them more as sequels, because these are games I would like to play again and maybe go back to the original games and then build up from the story that way. So, for my first one, my first entry into this, it definitely has to be an idea that came from one of the cashiers over at GameStop, in which blew my mind thinking I did not think about that. And that's basically Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 3. I know straight away people are going to be saying now, oh, but wait, we already have a Knights of the Old Republic 3. It's called the Old Republic. No, because that is its own different thing altogether. Because fair enough, it has cameo appearances from people from Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. But they kind of didn't finish off the story of what happens next during, well, 2. If you played Knights of the Old Republic 2, you see your hero either take on the Sith way and get the bad dark ending, or the good ending where they fly off in the galaxy doing God knows what. We wanted to know what happens next. Instead we get Old Republic, in which I enjoyed playing as an MMO and for role-playing sense as my character, but as a whole, it kind of died down a little bit because of the ideas of money means everything in this game for glamour. Pay to look fabulous. It's EA's way to try and, better their pockets. And it kind of sucked with that. It really did. But I would like to now see what happens during the story of Knights of the Old Republic properly. Yes, we are getting some stories of the Old Republic, from Disney and such. But remember, back in the day, there was a point, I believe Disney, when they bought Star Wars, they decided to turn around and say anything that is not in the main 9 now of the Skywalker saga is now considered legend. It is no longer canon. So, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, The Old Republic, and even my favourite book as well, Darth Plagueis, were all put on to the back shelf, only focusing on the Skywalker saga, the Clone Wars, the Rebels, and anything that has come out to make it link into this franchise. But with the Rise of the Skywalker film that came out and the book, it did state that all the Sith from there from days of old. So, Revan was confirmed to be one of the Sith that was part of the Rise of Skywalker. So that does give Revan that little access back into canon. So, what is stopping Disney from basically picking up from Knights of the Old Republic, working with BioWare, and to say, let's make a new Knight of the Old Republic 3. Let's continue the story of Darth Revan. And even you can go about it in two ways. I like the idea of being, if you, hell, I would say bring it back on PC, play through the first two games, and do the same with Dragon Age, where if you make these decisions in these two games and have the save files, they get to get transferred over to the third one, and you can continue the story of your history from the first two games into the third. So you may end up, continuing your story as Darth Revan the Sith, or Darth Revan the Jedi. It's something to look forward to there as well. I miss the interactions, I miss the lightsaber battles and such. I would say bring that back in. I don't know if they would ever decide to make it as a reboot. I know they've already made it as a HD remake of the game, in which I would like to get back into again. That's if my internet would let me download things again. But honestly, that is a game I would love to see come as a sequel. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy doing that. It was fantastic, it was beautiful, and again, I would like to see that. Now that Disney has taken over for Star Wars and Revan is confirmed back as a Sith in canon, this is their opportunity to do something good with a game that we enjoyed from that past. That's my first entry there. My second entry into this, wow, I thought of this like last minute the other day, and I was quite surprised I didn't think of this any sooner. I don't know, a lot of people are going to be baffled when I say this one, but White Knight Chronicles. Now, I wouldn't say this as a reboot, but more of a sequel so we can get a third one. Because, fair enough, the second one kind of tied things off, but in the end of it, we were given a bit of a to-be-continued moment with our own character. The game was beautiful as well. You play as several different characters in which join your party, but be that as it may, with the story where you play as a boy who is a shopkeeper, who goes off to a palace to do a delivery, who then protects a princess, who becomes a white knight, who becomes a ginormous knight and everything, and goes off an adventure to stop an empire. And there's all these different stories then about the history of the knights and everything. That was all said, that was all good, but I quite liked it when you don't have to play as the main character. You create your own character who is the companion, but technically it is the main character for you. But you play as your own character who is basically like the shop's apprentice. You go on the adventure with the main character, and you can play as the main character and continue on with what goes on there. And the beauty of it is as well, they had the multiplayer online capabilities where you, as your own character, get your own little village in which you can develop and build by yourself, have stalls in which has better armor, better items, better weapons. You can invite friends over as well, you can go off on quests, you can take on bigger quests, and just continue on with everything that is within the White Knight Chronicle franchise. And this went on then as well to the second game, in which even with the second game it had as well the opportunity of transfer your save file over from the first game to the second game and have all that save data, the stats, the weapons and armor all transferred over to the second game, so you don't have to start from scratch, which I kinda did. And this was the game, honestly, this was the first game that I had ever pre-ordered of the second one. And fair enough, this was all on PlayStation 3, and it's a shame they haven't revamped it up for the PlayStation 4, because I would like to play that again. But sadly as well, that the servers had to die out with the PlayStation 3, and the story of White Knight Chronicles had to fade into memory. So that to be continued just goes out the window there. And it kind of sucked. I liked the story, I like playing as my own character, and it did bring out some free DLCs as well, because even in the second game as well, you're given an item. in which you think that's peculiar. How do I continue on with this? How do I know what this item is? Well, it's basically by online as well. You do quests online in which you figure out that this little piece of item can transform your custom character into a knight. A big ass, humongous, gigantic knight with a huge ass sword. Who does not want that in a game? That is freaking awesome. And again, it was on the PlayStation 3. It was never brought onto the PlayStation 4. And its online capabilities just ceased to be. And that sucked. I mean, it's a shame as well that I never actually finished off as well playing the second White Knights game. Because, again, these are two games in which I'd like to see Knights of the Old Republic 3 and White Knight Chronicles 3. This is more on the sequel side. Revamps, I don't think we should be getting revamps. Why touch something from the past in which was so good? You know, why fix something that wasn't broken? That's the way I see it. Don't look at the past and try and think, oh, I'm going to remake this into something better, like they did with Final Fantasy VII. Honestly, let it be. You know, just attune them up for the high-end consoles so we can not only play in the 21st century, but we can have the childhood of our past follow us as well. We have a nostalgia that goes into it. Revamps, not my thing. Sequels, more to it. Continuous story, but in a good way, not like Final Fantasy 13. No. But Knights of the Old Republic franchise, the White Knight Chronicle franchise, those are two good games there in which I can see... Alright, so moral of the story, guys, well, I've done this so many times for every single blogist. I've always had my camera die down on me and I don't charge it right for my prompt days and such. So, oopsie daisy, always remember, that's one advice I can give you as well if you're doing vlogs. Charge your camera up at all times. But where was I? Yes! White Knight Chronicles and Knights of the Old Republic, those are two games I would love to see come back with sequels. I would love to see what continues on with their story. It looks fantastic, it looks awesome, and it'll be cool just to continue off their stories. Maybe in a different aspect. Maybe it could say, okay, now for onwards with White Knight Chronicles, this is from a different point of view, but your character's still the same, you know, you're still with your custom character. Knights of the Old Republic 3 could go in a similar way as well, where you create a character telling the story of maybe another Jedi, maybe your exile, maybe Revan, something. It'd be nice to have those games come back. Let's bring nostalgia back to this day and age, but not as revamps or remakes, you know? Don't go remaking Knights of the Old Republic 1, don't go remaking White Knight Chronicles into something in which Final Fantasy VII did, in which they took so many years of doing and we only get half a game. And to be honest, my opinion on that one, it's alright, I suppose. If you're going to do stuff like that, if you want to bring childhood back from old games to the 21st century, adapt them to the high-end consoles. So, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the new Xboxes, to which anything like that. Bring these nostalgic games to those consoles as they are, so we can enjoy 21st century with pixels and nostalgia. Sequels are the way forward, not revamps, not remakes. That's my opinion on that. That really is. But those are my two thoughts on games I would like to see, on content I would like to see as either a sequel or a remake or a revamp. I say this one was quite an interesting one. I like it. I really did like it. I'd like to give big thanks as... I'm a bit shaky there. I'd like to give big thanks as well for Belgas for once again orchestrating another fantastic blogcast, and for the idea of Promptapalooza. Fair enough, I've not been tying on with everyone else's prompts to give my thoughts on it. I've been dealing with some situations here with the internet. But, time for the big question now, folks. What do you guys think out there? What are games in which you would like to see as either a remake or a sequel to? I'd like to know on your opinions as well. Put them up in your own little blog post as well. Leave a comment down here as well in the channel. And you know, if it comes to it as well, where it's like, you know what, I kind of want to give it in my form of a blog as well, but I want to let you know, by all means, pop your link down of your blog post in the description as well. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to know exactly what you guys have for ideas of sequels and remakes. This is something in which I like. Now, just talking about it is something interesting and cool. I would like to hear from you guys to know exactly what you would like to see come to this day and age. You guys have been freaking awesome with Blogust. Everyone has been taking part. It's fantastic. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say as well. Going forward now, it's going to continue on with the day of, well, me as Life of a Welshman. So you can continue on watching the video if you want, but I'm going to close off my blog post here today for my prompt. But thank you once again, guys, for the participation on that. I will put in the link as well for tomorrow's blogger, who is going to be Professor Beej of the Geekry. Geekry. Yep, I had to write that down. But their link for their prompt down here in the description. Go check them out to know exactly what their prompt is and for you to put your thoughts in there as well. Thank you once again, guys, for giving me the opportunity to speak my prompt, to speak my mind, and for listening to this one. It's not a blog post, it's a vlog post, so it's kind of interesting to see how this one worked out. But thank you once again, guys. This is the Life of a Welshman signing off for this year's Bloggers 2020's Promptapalooza. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to make this just the blog post day today. I'm going to continue vlogging and stuff, but I'm going to add that on as additional stuff for tomorrow's vlog entry. So yeah, for now it's just this one today. So thank you so much for watching and for watching the blog post. I'd like to hear from you guys, though. Hit up your comments down in the comment box as well. Don't forget to check out tomorrow's entry as well by Professor Beej of the Geekry. Don't forget to like as well, and don't forget to take part and to participate and to look at all the other people who are taking part in Bloggers 2020 and show the love and support like you have with me. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a brand spanking new day. Hopefully it'll be better than the rest, and hopefully we'll have this whole fucking thing fixed with the internet. I hope. Until then, take it easy, guys. I'll stop.